Hey guys, welcome to Style Class, and I am here with Brittany, and we're actually in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
And we're doing this from my apartment here. And what's interesting about that is it's really going to tap into what we're talking about today is feeling like yourself no matter what environment that you're in. You guys can hear me, right? Okay, good. But feeling like yourself no matter what environment that you're in, but doing it with a lot of the wardrobe that you have already, and also feeling really interesting in the summertime. And I've been doing, I've been to so many different places over the last couple of weeks, including our own store yesterday, working with a range of different women. And what I heard over and over again was people wanted to figure out how to look interesting and with depth in the summertime. Somehow the idea of working with fewer layers throws you a little bit. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take you through different pieces. We're going to talk about how they fit into different environments, and we're going to talk about the principles that apply here. Because one of the things I always say is, you know, to think of the clothing in your closet as tools, not outfits, but tools. But the thing is a tool is only good if you know what it's used for. And if you're trying to use a hammer to screw in a nail, that's not going to work. So what we're going to do is really take a step back and talk about the tools, the roles that each one of these items play and how they can function together. And you guys know when we talk about the specificity of an item, we're going to talk specific because we're showing you specific items, but this is where when you understand the principles, you can apply it to many other things in your closet, things that you might be able to buy vintage, things that you might be able to poach from a son, a roommate, a spouse, a partner, whoever. Okay, so you made the comment already that being in Austin, you were already drawn to the ring threes.
Yeah.
Like I'm carrying an amber color. You've got the this green bench behind you.
Yeah, I originally paired the other cocoon top, the Sporty Nylon cocoon top in green, with a white t-shirt, and for some reason I was craving something else. I think...
So you've got navy blue.
Yeah, I have a navy blue washable cashmere tank on. I have the cinnamon color cocoon back shirt. I have it layered open. It feels like a...
Do your face, because I just want to let the color wheel.
I have it layered really as a jacket because I am someone who always layers. And then I have my pair of vintage Levi's, and it just felt better to have more depth with the ring 3 colors than to just throw on a white t-shirt with green.
And even like if you step over one bit this way, me in these colors, you can see the chair behind us.
Right.
At the end, we'll give you a view outside, and you feel very appropriate in the moment that you're in. But neither of us are wearing cowboy hats and cowboy boots, so that's the key thing. We still feel like ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's your security is like you get 1 second. So let me do this, Britt. I'm going to talk about this and then quickly switch into something else while you go on about some of the principles and working all that in. So what I'm going to show you guys first is starting out with the silk nylon trouser skirt. I'm wearing a size 4 in this skirt. This is silk nylon. So silk nylon doesn't have stretch, and this is the right size. So it's got a little bit of ease to it because it's not stretched around my body, but you can tell it's the right size because it's not gaping here. If you guys do wear this skirt, remember, resist the urge of putting it on and then going like this and doing that. That doesn't mean it's too big. What you want to do is make sure that it sits on your body and that it lands without falling to the floor. If it falls to the floor, the skirt is too big for you. What I saw when, especially in Columbia, South Carolina, women who came in, that if someone was on the more petite side, or if someone had the more shape where they're rounder here and then they've got these beautiful legs coming out, those women tend to wear like a lot of shorter skirts, right? Everyone's been taught, highlight your assets. What the fuck? I hate that. But a lot of people have been taught that. And what I find is that a lot more petite women or women with those legs for days and that bigger, rounder shape up top, they tend to get really boxed into a wardrobe of mini skirts. And so the two items that are so exciting that we can always put on these people and have them feel like their world has opened up is this trouser skirt and a pleated skirt.
Yeah.
The pleated skirt is perfectly engineered to work with, Tracy's a genius.
Yeah.
She's a genius. Because you were
It's
saying
my-
the other day, it's your first.
It's the first time I had a pleated skirt on where the pleats weren't pulling around my hips. They just sit perfectly and it feels great. Like, it's a midi skirt. I wear it with everything. It's probably one of my woofs. Like, I always have a pleated skirt no matter where I go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what I found too is if anyone had a shape where they were rounder here and then slimmer here, this skirt was a really interesting option because it sat low on their hips where it should, because it shouldn't sit up here on me regardless. And if you're rounder here, it's not going to sit up there on you. And so for the rounder here shapes, it sat nicely on the hips. And then what I found for them was bringing a proportion that was bigger and draped and then letting that slim here. So that was that big and then that slim really worked. And what would be uncomfortable for them was to do slim and slim, right? Yeah. So those circular balloon tops and everything, perfect with that. So I'm going to show you a couple different variations here with this skirt and how I would, at the end, we're going to put everything back into the luggage, the carry-on luggage that we came with. And I want to show you how I could easily take a trip to 6 or 7 different cities that have very different codes and to describe them, and do it all with one skirt. So here I am in Austin, and I'm going to be leaning heavily on these Ring 3 colors. And this is where, to me too, having a shoe that is like a really deep, rich brown instead of a black, it's like all of these Ring 3s and the neutrals, perfect. And I even bought, we're down here because we're doing an event with Breitling tomorrow night, and I brought down a brown watch band of theirs that I want to switch into in the summertime. So this is one too, like if you're thinking about how to make something look very natural and easy, but also sharp and modern, this is where like I'm going to mix this white face with this brown here. And if this had been like a taupe color face or something, it would have changed the vibe of it.
Yeah, I would even do the brown for this outfit
and the black
too.
mix.
Yeah, because I feel like right now it's a little sharp compared to all the Ring 3s. The brown would just ease it out.
I agree.
A little bit more. Yeah.
I agree. We need a line of like Ring 3 watch bands.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go now from Austin, and I'm gonna give myself a more urban vibe.
Yeah.
Not urban cowboy, but urban vibe. I'm gonna give it a line.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, and I wanted to touch base as someone, if you're like me, who always reaches for that third layer. That's really where I live with the 12 mowers. It is something that you can wear any month. So for me, that's my Liam. I'm kind of treating this shirt again like a Liam, but it's the item that I am constantly grabbing. I throw it on over the shoulder, which we'll show later. But it just like, for me, it eases everything out. It feels good and it goes with everything. It's appropriate whether you're going from the office to a dinner, wherever it is. It really is a 12 mower and a PDW. And that's, you can see that here in the book. It's that layer that feels good no matter where you are.
Yeah, and I think one word that I want to point out here is you use the word appropriate. And when we say appropriate for the place that you're in, I don't mean it like, that's not appropriate for the club. Like, it's not that kind of appropriate. It means that you feel appropriate because you feel like you're part of literally the environment. Yeah. It's not like you dress like everyone in the club. You might go to the club and honestly, they might be very inappropriately dressed. Doesn't mean that you go down to that level if it's not your style. Yeah. But as long as you're hitting the city codes, then you're going to be in a really good spot. Exactly. So here, if I'm going now to Milan, if I'm going to, it's summertime, I'm going to be in Berlin, I'm going to be in Switzerland. these are things that like Berlin, of course, like black, 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 right? But this is something I'm going to be packing because I'm Milan, Cap Ferrat, Switzerland, Berlin, and Antwerp. So I'm going to want to get a ton of wear out of this skirt.
Yeah.
So mixing it with the black makes it really right for Berlin. It makes it really right for Milan. Although I'm going to be honest, like I'll tell you about Berlin once I get there, and I've never been to Berlin. I'm very excited. Our store there, Anita Haas, amazing. But yeah, so I'll let you know. But my hypothesis going into a city that I haven't been to before is that looking at the codes, I think I'm going to feel right. But I'm going to switch out my earrings. Yeah. And so this is where I'm, you know, I just had on the earrings. The jewelry makes a huge difference. Yeah. So I'm keeping my black watch here. And I'm going to switch out from my little Celine Fox and the gold Jennifer Fisher hoops. Not sponsored, guys, just telling you where to find things. And then I'm going to put on the Jill Sander earrings. Jill Sander's not sponsoring us either, in case you're wondering. But so this earring, for me, is what I'm going to wear in Milan at Hotel Bulgari for cocktails out. But if I'm in Berlin and Tracy and I are just walking around and we're going to be working on the fall 25 collection there, I'm not going to do any earrings. We're just going to have like these little guys there, and I'm just going to be really clean and easy for walking around. And this is where I switched into a black shoe here that is refined, but for summer it's not too overwhelming. So now, while I've got this on, I'm going to go back to a more summer item that I'm going to pack here. Not a more summer item, but a more vacation item. So this is going to be for Switzerland. Oh, I'm going to really match nicely with you. Yeah, I could wear this in. It's a little too polished for Cap Ferrat. Yeah. But I'm going to wear this when I'm in Switzerland. Yeah. I've got places to go. I can wear it in Milan. And this is, I just threw it on over the tank here. These, I think, just arrived today, or they'll go up tomorrow. So these are these cross-back sweaters. Oh, actually, I lied. Switzerland, here I am, right? Going to do this. But in Cap Ferrat,
switch it around.
I'm going to switch it around. Yeah. And
this is making your clothes work for you.
Yes, exactly. I'm going to switch it around. I'm not going to wear this tank top underneath it, but what I am going to do is I've got an old Malia Mills bathing suit, and it's in like a really rich dark green. Yeah. That's what I'm going to have underneath this. And so then when I'm going out in Cap Ferrat, I'm going to go like this. Yeah. Little bikini top underneath it. Yeah. And maybe the big dangling earrings again.
Yeah. So I put on the Drapey suiting from summer in cinnamon. For me, as someone who leans towards ring 1 and 2, this feels like a no color. It has that ish, and we have some events here in the city, and I feel like I'm appropriate, again, I'm using the word appropriate, but appropriate for the events that we're doing, and then I would totally switch this out and feel good to go out at night. And really this is like, again, the Liam is a woof as well. It's my without fail, it's my 12 mower, it lives and breathes with me. And I think with the brown sandal, again, it just eases it out, which feels good. I feel like this is my first time also in Austin, so I feel appropriate, and I nailed it. Yeah. Yeah. First time in Texas, first time in Austin, and the colors feel good.
Okay. So in Milan, we're going to be we're going to be showing the Resort 25 collection. So when I'm working there, this is something for me that I'm probably not going to wear this shirt underneath it, but I have it on right now just so I can take it off and show you guys. So one thing that we talk about so much is mixing in, you're mixing in your opposites, your antonyms. You are mixing in irony, you're mixing in your textures, and you're mixing in your proportions. And then, of course, the color wheel.
Yeah.
And all of these things can feel overwhelming until it isn't. And I had a woman in the store yesterday, and she grew up in India. She went to school at Georgia Tech, and she lives in New York now. And it was really interesting. She's kind of just starting out in her career. And she came to me and she was like, okay, what's the deal with the sandwich?
Yeah.
Oh, can I have your white shoe?
Oh, yeah.
Because she was like, what's the deal with the sandwich? Everyone on TikTok's talking about these, matching the top to the shoe. Do I have to know this stuff? And should I have my colors done? Not color wheel, but like her colors. And the thing is when we were going through things and we put her in the tan colored pleated skirt, we put her in the ring 3 berryish colored t-shirt.
Yeah.
Then we had the navy blue Liam.
Yeah.
And then she had on the, first she started out with a dark brown slide sandal, and then she also put on the pop of red sandal.
Yeah.
And then at one point we switched her into a white top. And so when she asked about the sandwich and she had on the white top, immediately her reaction was so visceral. So guys, here I am, right? I've got on the dark sandal.
Yeah.
The minute she put on the white, she shuddered. It wasn't like I had to explain. She had a visceral reaction. She was like, oh shit, like you just made me look so basic.
Right.
And it made her feel so mature.
Yeah.
And it made her feel mature for a reason, because the stereotypes of this mature woman, I mean, she's got her handbag and her purse, her purse and her shoe match. And unless you literally are Brigitte Bardot running around the streets of Paris from the 60s, it's a vibe that you better have some other things going on to pull off that irony.
To balance it out.
Because if you're going to match your shoe and your top, I mean, like, I want to see you with a mohawk. I want
there needs
full
to be some
sleeve
other,
of tattoos.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta irony that stuff up.
Yeah.
But if you go into an office, you're just living your life. If you look like me, you just blech. No.
Yeah.
Okay, so textures here. We're working in. We've got like the brown Croc belt. Yeah. We've got a white cotton poplin. I've got a rib tee.
Yeah.
I've got the skirt here in the silky nylon.
That makes a really good swishing sound.
And then the refined leather shoe. So when you are piling on, when you're thinking in terms of proportions, when you are thinking in terms of colors, the rest will follow naturally if you have built your wardrobe that way. So this is where I tell people, when you're going out, you don't buy 4 t-shirts in 4 different colors in the same fabric. Even if they are a different cut, you don't buy them all in the same fabric, because that, at the end of the day, regardless if they're a different color, regardless if they're a different cut, you are going to start to feel really...
It's repetitive,
yeah. And so this is feeling, right? And this feeling transmits to how you feel inside. You can't help it. It's just how our brains are programmed. Okay, so then I want to show you, clearly I'm ready for business in Milan. But if I'm in Cap Ferrat now, I'm going to be bouncing back and forth here.
But it's also about making the pieces work for you. You're not planning outfits. If you have the tools, you can layer and switch it up wherever it's appropriate. Yeah.
Do you mind bringing me that flip flop?
Yeah, of course.
So now, if I'm in Cap Ferrat, I'm going to just go back to the t-shirt here, and I'm going to put on this janky flip flop that I found in my closet here in Austin. I'm going to take off the belt. So you see, like with the tee, the belt, and the flip flop, it's a little like Gwyneth Paltrow 90s Manhattan.
Right.
I can do this in Milan. I might do this in Berlin, Antwerp, right? But in Cap Ferrat, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to grab a straw basket, and I can go shopping, right? And this is one too, like when you're in some of these areas,
Yeah.
you might be in a place like Cap Ferrat, but Cap Ferrat is a short little Uber ride or bus ride over to Monte Carlo,
Yeah.
right? And so Monte Carlo is a place where, like it's 40 Ferraris are lined up, the whole thing, right? It's everything that you imagine it to be. And so when you go over to Monte Carlo or places like that, that are so over the top, I'm never going to go into that vibe. Right? Like, I'm not going to take this and be like, oh, I'm just going to put on a gigantic platform Louboutin and be one, right? So this is where you want to make sure that when I say appropriate, if I'm appropriate because Monte Carlo has like lots of cobblestone streets everywhere or rocky streets, right? You can see the water. Beautiful shopping. You want to be refined and put together. You want to feel right with the nature, but I don't need to become the stereotype of the people there in order to feel comfortable in my own skin when I'm in a place that is really outside of my wheelhouse for how I would normally dress.
Yeah, and going back to the art of layering, would you carry something with you and layer on top?
In this t-shirt, I want it.
Yeah.
But if I'm in Milan and I'm wearing this, this is where I would grab this. And if I'm working, this is what I would put on. I put my arms through.
Yeah.
If I'm going for a cocktail outside at a hotel, I'm going to do this, and I'm probably going to put on like a bigger earring. I'm probably going to let this hike up a little bit. Where I'm in the showroom, I'm probably going to cover that up. But yeah, so so little things, guys. This says I'm having a drink and it's chill outside. Yeah. And this says like, okay, sit down. I need to talk to you about work, and we're gonna get some shit done right now.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Okay. Language through clothes. Yes. So I'm gonna put on a one and done dress. So.
Okay. Yeah. The one with the straps.
I'm gonna try this white one.
Yeah.
I've never worn it on live.
So when we're talking about cities and what feels good, packing, like we said, packing without outfits in mind, but packing for versatility, you really can get so much use out of the pieces that you bring if you have the tools. And knowing what colors, what pieces feel good together, making sure the texture's there. Even with this, I have this cashmere tank. It's a different texture from the silky fluid suiting. And I have the leather shoe. Texture's key. I think when you do have those tools, you can build the outfits that feel good. And I'm just looking at you because I feel like this is so good, and I wouldn't normally. Yeah.
This feels so good.
The colors are good.
Yeah. So I want to show you the things that you want to look for in something that you're buying, and what makes the real difference. So here, this is our dress. It feels like it's almost like a terry bath toweling. It's this really rich Italian fabric. And what you can see here is, first of all, the zipper is asymmetrical on it, right? It's the little bit of strange. There's actually nothing to make this dress fit differently because of the zipper that way, but it's one of those things when you're zipping up, you know that it's there and it feels really interesting. This pocket on one side feels so chill. And then you can see the way Tracy designed this is the movement comes because it's got all these curves and shapes in it. Kind of like if you guys have any of our softer Sids or Winslows, those curves are not creating like super high, hard sculpture. They're actually giving fluidity. And if you're a creative pragmatist, one of the things that you're looking for is movement in what you're wearing without having to lean onto wearing chiffons, silks, things that are too precious. So something like this is where it is hitting all the right balances, because, you know, from a brand that is more conservative, they might take a fabric like this nubby terry-like fabric. They might take it and they'll make it into something really sharp, like a shift dress or something, right? It might read very preppy. Another brand might take it and make it into something very cute. This here, like in Tracy's hands, another key here is, see, it's all raw cut. And what the raw edge does here is that it really eliminates any preciousness to it. So I want to show you here, in terms of fitting in with your environment. If I were in Cap Ferrat, and let's pretend that we're down at Hotel du Cap, and it's going to be cold out. I'm not bringing this because I'm going to throw it on top of this. That would be too bulky. But I'm definitely throwing it on here because by the end of the night, I'm going to be like really cold sitting outside. So this feels right, and I'm going to wear the brown sandal with it. But if, again, I'm going to put myself at Hotel Bulgari. I keep saying that so that Frank can be prepared for the expense report for, like, I said I was going, I had to go. But now, if I am at Bulgari, I'm going to put my black sandal on here. Do you mind grabbing that little yellow bag for me? Yeah. I'm going to put on the black sandal, and this is one thing that I always travel with is the cozy cashmere, the washable. Yeah. And then I'm going to put on this black hoop earring. So again, this is an old Celine earring. You can scour Vestiaire or Real, or you can have Sarah Brody working with you, who just stays like on top of anything that she knows. That she's like the master sorcerer. Truly. So here I'm going to go with a big hoop earring to contrast the black and white. I'm going to wear the black refined sandal. Yeah. I'm going to put on your black watch here. And then I'm going to have this for me for later on. Yeah. But, you know, in Milan, again, now it's getting late outside, and I probably want to layer this one on. Yeah. Now this one is a washable cashmere. It has a rounder cut to it. Yep. It has a similar cut to what you're wearing. And so this can be layered on top at the end of the night. And what I'm probably going to do is, to feel like not too overwhelmed, I'm going to just use my rubber band here. And I'm going to take my sweater and I'm going to hike it up to here. Then I'm going to give myself the ponytail in the back. Tuck it in. And then I'm going to tuck it in. Yeah.
And it gives that cocoon shape in the back too, which is really nice.
And this you can even like hike up as high as you want here. And this is
great. Yeah.
And it is so effortless. So when you're looking for that ease, especially in a dress, you're going to be looking for this fabric that is it's so good. It's so good. It's so, I haven't had it on yet because the weather hasn't
New York's
been right. Yeah. But it feels so good. Yeah. I love it. But the raw it's so good. All right.
So I put on the wrap skirt from summer with this fine cotton shirting from spring, but we have an event at Kick Pleat later. This is probably what I'm going to wear. It feels easy. It's hot here, so even though I'm wearing a long sleeve, it's breathable. I can hike it up, and I feel casual but refined. And I keep throwing on these brown sandals, and they go with everything.
And they stay on your feet.
And they stay on your feet. I don't feel like they're slipping off as I'm walking. And I always go for black, which I'm realizing in the summer when I'm going for these ring 3 colors, the brown just feels good. Like the brown just eases it out. It doesn't feel as harsh.
It's not about corn brown. It's got red in it.
Yeah, it has red in it. It's a really rich brown. And again, we're gonna show you the view, because with the view, with being here in Austin, this feels appropriate. But I love it, and of course there's pockets, so I'm kind of just hanging out. I feel, yeah, for all our styling appointments, this is good. It feels airy. And I tucked it in a bit. I have the tie. I didn't want the tie hanging in the front. It felt a little too precious. So I tied it back and I tucked it in, similar to how Amy just tucked in the back of her sweater. So it's hidden.
Okay. So now I'm wearing the pleated dress.
Yeah.
And so what I noticed is a lot of people, when they came out of the dressing room in this dress, I'm gonna take my bra off to show you guys, and because this really can wrap up around you like a bathing suit.
Yeah.
If it doesn't give you that complete support, I bought these little like weird support things online.
Yeah.
For your chest. I'm pretty sure they've like emailed me and they're like, you have to have something to support. But anyway, so what I want to show you is when people came out of the dressing room,
Right.
if this was sitting here, you
Yeah.
could see how it's kind of bulking up here.
Yeah.
And so what
That's
I want
what
to
they-
tell you
yeah.
is when you buy this and try it on at home, your instinct when something gapes is going to be to hike it up.
Yeah.
But the
Similar
thing-
to a bra strap, how you hike it up.
Yeah, because it's got all of these
Yeah.
adjustable straps on the back, but it's a little counterintuitive. In order to get rid of this, because this it's all adjustable, all
Right.
different ways, so it's
Right.
great on a huge range.
Yeah.
But what you want to do is actually
You actually
lengthen
Yeah.
the bra strap
So
a
you
little
want to
bit.
pull it down so that it sits. It
It's gonna-
sits flat
it's gonna
against
sit-
the body.
It's going to sit flat on the body,
Yeah.
and it's going to sit lower on the hips here.
Yeah. And if you wanted to loosen up the back too, you can. It's adjustable there too.
Yeah.
But it's really pulling it down so that it lays flat back here.
And so if you're getting this dress, what is important to look at is your key measurement here is right here. So this is where I take a size 4. Even
Yeah.
though it's all this openness, I take a size 4 because I'm a 4'6" down
Yeah.
here. So
Yeah.
I definitely need the size 4.
Yeah.
And then, so I just want to show you, like,
Yeah.
Cap Rod, I'm going to be in this so much.
Yeah.
And again, wearing it with just
Anything.
with
You know, what I
anything.
love too is the way that you and Sarah styled it for e-com
Mhm.
and our website, because we took, I'm gonna just grab this, we took the nylon and put it on top, and it feels like
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
a skirt.
Yeah, you can,
Obviously this is
this
not the right size, but
but
it turns it into a totally,
different look.
and I love the monochromatic feel.
And if you're, this is where, when you're wearing a dress like this, your clothing should talk to you.
Yeah.
And it should be saying something really sporty and effortless. And so if this whole thing were in silk, it just would take on such a different vibe.
It would feel a lot more serious.
And I want to say, if you guys have seen the campaign here,
Yeah.
Tina jumped in the pool in this. We hung it up to dry, chlorine and all,
Yeah.
and the tag was still on it. I could have sold it, but I think we're actually selling it as a one and done damage. But it's not damaged. Like,
Yeah.
it literally went in the swimming
Right.
pool and it's not damaged.
Right.
So
You can
when you
still
look
do-
for
yeah.
these things in the summertime, this nylon is key.
Yeah.
And a lot of you guys have written to me, I'm gonna do a little story on it, but you're asking like, what do I wear to Wimbledon,
Right.
right? So Wimbledon, you're outside, Wimbledon can be so hot, you're in the stands, and these nylon pieces, like the nylon skirts,
Yeah.
you wear skirts. You
Yeah.
wear a midi skirt
Yeah.
and like the nylon, and that's what you wear to these sporting events.
Right.
And what's great too with this one is you can really layer it up, and like I had on the jacket there that you gave me, and then also just,
And this one you could layer on top of the dress because it doesn't have that texture. It's
yeah. And so now you're
Yeah.
mixing in all of these like colors, and
it's just so it makes it have a point of view. It's so much more interesting than throwing on, let's say, like a white top with it.
yeah.
It gives it so much more dimension.
Yeah, and I want to show you like, so here, if you don't mind holding this
Yeah.
for a second, I'm going to put on the sweater here. on top. Actually, this is where I could really wear the sweater around this way. So
Yeah.
the sweater, the first one that I had on was in the shorter length.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, in the longer length. This one's in the shorter length.
That's a longer line too. You want the short one?
Oh, thank you. Here, can I have that?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I want to show you is, okay, so for me, knowing my codes of my city, this is, again, what I would be wearing in Cap Fraud. I'm going to try it on with the shorter one too. So I want to show you something that when you're packing, little easy things that you can pack to kind of hedge your bets
Yeah.
without completely weighing down the luggage.
Yeah.
Is you can pack something like, you might think like, oh, I want to put this bright necklace on and help like give a good ring 4 to these ring 3 colors.
Yeah.
I've been to Cap Fraud a couple times, and Cap Fraud, this is not a Cap Fraud bottom.
Yeah.
It's just too colorful. Like if I were in Miami, if I were
Yeah.
maybe in Ibiza, but
I
I
was
want to
gonna say,
have like more natural,
yeah.
like maybe in Greece.
Oh yeah.
And have like a tan, like woven
Yeah.
sandal.
Yeah.
So you want to, so the thing is if I grab this and I had it in my bag, when I talk about the tools, these earrings, these little things are, it's like your toolkit,
Yeah.
but it's not like you're walking around with a gigantic thing from Home Depot. Like it's a little thing. It
Yeah.
doesn't, I'm going to get to Cap
Yeah.
Ferrat and I'm going to be like, oh, no,
Right.
I'm not going to wear that. But when we were on St. Simon's Island doing the
Yeah.
campaign, one of the things that we bought for the models that looked really good was we ended up getting all of these little shell bracelets for their ankles. If I were in Ibiza, this is
would
what
be
I would do.
perfect.
I
Yeah.
found a way to, I put it
Yeah.
around my ankle. But you'll know that when you get there.
Yeah.
The key is you want to come to these places with ingredients
Right.
that are really like your clothing is selected based on the codes of the city. Take your risks here.
Yeah.
If you don't wear them, you know you're going to wear it later on.
Yeah. And kind of throwing away the notions of the necklace has to be worn as a necklace. Like, play
Yes.
around with it. Like, putting it around the ankle. When we did that in St. Simon's, the like hookah shell necklace, bracelet around the ankle, it was just such a small thing, but a game changer. And it just looked really cool.
Well, okay, so
Oh, yeah.
I'm just
I
trying
love
this
that.
live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
But since you were saying like use things in different ways.
Yeah.
So if I was, let's say that I'm in, also like I could see I'm in LA,
Yeah.
I'm in
I
Shanghai,
love that.
and just walking around,
Yeah.
like, and I don't want to feel like here's
Right.
Milan, I'm walking around,
Yeah.
but like here's maybe LA. So I'm
Yeah.
just going to take the necklace and I'm just going to put it right there.
Yeah.
And it just
It
gives
kinda-
me that one moment.
Yeah, and it kind of takes something that is more serious and
Yeah.
makes it more playful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's great when
Yeah.
you're in a city that's
Right.
more playful.
Right.
And in Milan, or like if I were in Florence, those
Right.
aren't what I think of as playful cities. So
Right.
here I am in Florence.
So chic. Yeah.
Okay, let me get a couple more things
Yeah.
on here.
And I just threw this. Clearly, this is going to be my layering piece for the summer because I just threw this on top of what I already had, and it works. Probably going to hike it up, make it a little less serious, but
But also in terms of more playful.
yeah.
like-
And getting a ring 4 color, like the little pop of pink. I do have these pink earrings with me, and I would just throw those on, and it's a little bit more playful for at night.
And then here, like with the denim, I'm really like
Yeah.
right back in Austin.
Yep.
I'm in Cap Fraud
Yeah.
as well. I'll wear
Yeah.
this in Cap Fraud. But just again, like taking something like this shirt and then just layering it right over the dress.
Yeah.
When you talk about using things in different ways, you're using the dress also as a skirt,
Yep.
using the necklace as an anklet,
Right.
as a bag chain, all that good stuff. I think we have time for one more outfit.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna,
Yeah.
one last thing here.
Did you try on this over the
crop?
the crop is a good
No, I'll
layering.
take a picture of it.
Yeah,
So that
the
they
crop
can-
is a good layering piece too. If you're wearing a dress, if you have like this slouchier, like when I was wearing those pull-on merit pants in cinnamon, I would throw this on. I think when you play with proportion and play with length, this is like a really good, easy top that you can put on top.
Okay. So,
and what's your next outfit? Where are you going?
So I'm gonna go now, I'm gonna be travel bound right now. Where did that gray cashmere go?
Oh, I have it over here.
Okay, so I'm travel bound now. And so what I want to show you is when you are getting dressed, we've talked about proportions, we've talked about textures. The other thing is irony, antonyms, throwing something on its head. So we know that the thing about the antonyms is it really is when you get dressed, if you don't feel the way that you thought you wanted to feel, define how you feel and then flip it on its head. So
I'm waiting for you to say.
my son's really disgusting workout shoes.
Yeah, I'm like, those are the
Okay.
beat up running shoes.
3 sizes too big.
Yeah.
But so right now, like, no. No, it's, and arguably, like, you know that this is an outfit that you got.
Yeah.
And you know that it's an outfit that your friends are all wearing.
It's too literal.
It's so literal.
With
It got the tank
with
top
the Wilt
on,
pant,
Wilt pant, the nylon, and this.
Yeah.
Right? So this is where I feel sporty. So I'm going to flip it on its head, and I'm going to want to feel a little more elegant
Refined,
instead. Elegant and refined. So I'm going to put on this shoe here. One of the things, I haven't done a talk on this in a while, but one of the things that keeps something very elegant and refined is when your sole matches your upper. And if this had been like a tan
I was gonna
sole
say like a cream or something,
with a black upper, like maybe I would wear it without this, if it was like a whole tan, right?
Yeah.
But what these uppers and soles do together is it lets you kind of put together the clothing with a little more freedom. And every now and then I'm kind of drawn to a multicolored shoe like that, but I haven't, like a contrast sole versus upper.
Yeah.
But I learned my lesson by buying them too often, and they became such one and done shoes.
Yeah.
So
it's very limiting with what you can pair with.
So if I'm traveling, this is where, you know, like when Balenciaga did the like riff on like Friends, where they sent down like, you know, Joey totally like loaded up
100 layers. Yeah.
But the thing is, like when you're traveling, this is where you want to just play around and be functional.
Right.
And even
when it gets cold, you're going to take that and throw it on.
I'm going to take that and throw it on, and I'm just going to.
And then with so with the fluid blazer,
So with the fluid blazer, I've got all of this happening, and then you know on the airplane you can keep like adjusting your temperature as you go. And this is one of the things I really remember. I was in the airport in Nice 2 years ago, and we were checking in, and this woman came up to me, and she was wearing this baby blue sweatpants and sweatshirt. It was all Louis Vuitton, so it was all embossed LVs all over. She had on this big bright colored sneaker, and she had the big Christian Dior toile bag.
Yeah.
And I was just standing there checking in for the flight, pretty sure it was something exactly like this.
Yeah.
And she just came up to me and she's like,
"That's what I want to look like."
yeah, she's like, "Why am I dressed like I am?" She's like, "This is what I wanted to be."
Right, that's the vibe she was trying. Yeah.
And I know that my outfit was everything that I wear every day. There's no way she wears what she had on every day. And I know that I'm sure, 100% sure I spent a lot less on it. So again, mixing in these textures, I've got on the cashmere, I've got on the cotton, I've got on the silk Habutai is the one that I keep wearing here in the summertime. This is what I'm going to gravitate to. And then I've got on the sporty nylon pant.
Right.
And to be honest, I'm wearing like a Granger slide on the airplane with this. I'm not going to wear the refined sandal. So we've got to get to kick pleat.
Yeah.
Why don't we throw this stuff in the luggage really quickly so that you guys can see that we are like super serious about how great we are with the packing. So I'm going to put the luggage down. And so remember, I'm not going to put this stuff in because this is on my body for the plane.
Yeah.
So I've got the 2 sweaters here. I love this. I'm not bringing them both in the plum, but I would, or the cinnamon, but I'm going to bring one. I'm going to do probably the shorter one in the cinnamon, and I'm going to do the longer one in the cream color.
Yeah.
So we're going to just flat pack these down. And then, well, to be real though, guys, I'm going to do the master gigantic packing for that trip I keep talking about. I'm going to do that later. I'm not bringing just to carry on. I'm not crazy. Then I'm going to pack the denim shirt here that we love. I'm going to pack, oh my God, my new favorite dress.
I know.
You better have it.
Don't miss. I feel like I'm going to go back and order it now.
If the black is gone, I'm going to be so pissed. By the way, why can't they invent a better solution than Velcro on luggage?
Right, because then it gets caught in all the clothes.
It's so, dude, Romola, Globetrotter, be better. Like, stop it with the Velcro already.
Right.
Who?
It ruins
It's like
a lot of
conspired with clothing companies, and they're like, let's have everyone fuck up their clothing so that they have to buy more.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got this. We've got
The
the tank top. Can I have my denim skirt? I didn't try that on, but I'm definitely wearing the hell out of that on this trip. This, again, I'm going to be wearing like crazy in all these destinations. It's so light, but we can go into that more when I do the full packing story
fundamental
for the trip.
pull-on skirt.
Yeah, he goes with me everywhere. He's going to be at the farmer's market. And then I packed the black cargo shorts. I'm going to wear those a lot, Milan, and I'm going to wear them with our little tan top here. Again, these are things that I brought just in case I wanted to talk to you guys about them today. This I just grabbed from my closet here, but I just wanted to remind you guys, if you bought any of our denim tops in the past, they're going to be perfect with everything that you've seen here today. The bodysuit, when you are looking at buying the tools, this gives you the slim to the big slim skin. It's giving you ring 3.
And this is actually the
texture. And it's not a bodysuit.
It's not a bodysuit.
We chopped it off.
It's easy. Yeah.
We chopped it off.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to get that blue sweater in here.
Yeah.
And my sweatpants. My Stella's and my sweatpants.
Yep.
So,
Calders, always.
Calders, always for the hotel,
Yep.
in between times, always. And actually my tween time thing now too is the Stella jean.
Yeah.
So this is what I was wearing when I did the little post this morning. Big slim skin is really important here, and refinement is important. I was wearing it with like a really ratty sweatshirt.
Right. But a refined sandal.
Went very refined on the sandal.
Yeah.
And then I've got the belt in here, and I still have so much
room.
more room.
Yeah.
So tons more room. So like stupid room.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? Stupid room is good too because, can you hear me like Guayabera?
Yep.
It's good too because that's where like, this is something that when I did this big trip here a while ago with Byron and Derek, we did a thing on like what I brought, what I bought.
Yeah.
And this is something here, like if you are traveling to Texas, then I had bought this from La Hacienda Boot Company that I love.
Yeah.
Small, family owned, but it's just one of those pieces that like, I'm not wearing this all the time, but when you're on vacation and you want to be part of a moment and you know that it's not something that you would normally wear a lot, it's really nice to go in, support a local artisan, and support the local business. So this is where I don't go on to a big e-commerce site and buy things that are like designed because, hey, you're going to Mexico or you're going to Ibiza, so buy this beaded thing.
Right.
Don't. Wear your clothes, get the beaded shawl, get the little things
Yeah.
from the local artists, mix them in with your core outfit. You're going to be so smart when you travel. Okay, we better get to Kate.
I know, we gotta go.
We gotta go. My first appointment's in 9 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you, and later. All right, bye.
Bye.